Hi guys, it's Lynn here. I hope you're having an incredible day. Now today I'm going to show you how you can harvest the seed from Schlumbergera cacti or Rhipsalidopsis. And in this case I have got the seed pod already in my hand because I was actually going to show you picking it off and when you know when it's ripe, but it actually came off in my hand by just touching the leaf, so that's the good sign that it's very, very ripe. And this is both for Schlumbergera cacti and Rhipsalidopsis cacti. And more commonly the name will be for Schlumbergera is often known as the Christmas cactus or the Thanksgiving cactus, holiday cactus, crab cactus, all the other names, and it's more often used than Schlumbergera. And Rhipsalidopsis is more commonly known as the Easter cactus. And what it is, I've made a few videos before on how to harvest the seeds both from Schlumbergera and Rhipsalidopsis, and I've also made a few videos on how to pollinate the flowers to get seed. So if you have flowering Schlumbergera or Rhipsalidopsis in the future and you'd love to get seed, to grow from seed, then links up above to my playlist on how to pollinate cactus flowers and also a video on how to harvest them as well. It's all on that playlist, so do go over there and have a look at some of the videos, and it goes into detail on harvesting the seeds on different types of Schlumbergera and Rhipsalidopsis, as well as different type of cactus seed and also how to pollinate cactus flowers. And as I say, this one I pollinated this year. It was actually, it was early in the year. It had beautiful orange flowers. And this lovely orange Brazil variety of Schlumbergera is actually a Schlumbergera tendenza, tendenza truncata, rather than just Schlumbergera truncata. And the reason why it's a truncata is because it has the zigzaggy sort of claw-like edging around the leaves rather than the smoother one, which is more commonly seen with the more Christmas cactus varieties like the Buckley. But anyway, this isn't about the different varieties. I've already made a video on how to tell the difference between Christmas and Thanksgiving cactus. So if you have one of these cacti and you're not sure whether you have an Easter cactus, Christmas cactus or Thanksgiving cactus, then links up above to a video on how to tell the difference, and it's very easy, purely by the leaves. Do check that video out if you're not sure what variety you have. But as I say, before I waffle on too much, this is about harvesting the seed. And when you pollinate them, as I say, links up above to the pollination videos, then you know if it's a success because the seed pod will start to form on the edges of where the flower used to be, like this. And I was going to show you before it fell off. And it stays green it starts to swell up. The flower, normally if it's not pollinated, will drop off fairly quickly. But if it is pollinated, it will stay on, and the old flower head will just die away. And you'd be left with a seed pod. And it'd be green. It'll start to swell up, a bit like a green pea, over the weeks and months. And it can even take up to a year before it's fully ready. And you'll know when it's ready to harvest because it usually takes on a red coloration. Not always, but usually red coloration. But you'll know it because it will feel very soft to touch, as in this case it does feel very, very soft, just like how a grape would feel. Not a firm grape, but a soft grape, and it's just starting to go soft. You'll know, I mean, as I just show you here, just squeezing that, you know that's ready. It's starting to wrinkle a little bit as well. If it was very firm and still green and not easy to pull off as well, you'd know you have to leave it on. You're better leaving it on too long than taking it off too early before the seed has developed, because if it does fall off, as long as you're there to catch it, obviously, the seed is never going to come to any harm inside there. It's better to be overripe. But if you put it off before it's ready, the seed isn't ready then. It's not going to germinate, and it's not going to be easy for you to get seed from a very hard seed pod that's not fully developed. As I say, that's developed there, nice and soft. And what I'm going to be showing you now is literally just all you have to do, and just to get the seed to separate the seed from the pulp. As I say, cactus fruit is all edible, whatever types of cacti you're growing, even the desert types. This is more the epiphytic type, rainforest type. The berries are always delicious, so if you really did not want to sow the seed, you could always eat the berry. Good for you. But bear in mind, if you are using bug sprays, they can be toxic and gets into the plants, especially systemic, so I wouldn't advise eating it in that case. This case, I only ever treat this with either neem oil or isopropyl rubbing alcohol, so there'd be no toxic, and I haven't used neem oil on this for many months, so this will be very, very safe. So just a few little tips there, and now I'm going to show you how to separate the seed from the pulp. Now, what I recommend doing is obviously getting a plate, and when it comes to harvesting the seed, you're best to make sure it's not a windy day, because if you're doing this outside, as in this case, it would blow away if it was very windy. Now, normally I like to harvest seed inside the house for that reason. I've got a little crystal here on the paper to absorb some of the pulp to separate the seed. But unfortunately the lighting is so bad inside the house today because it's an overcast day that I'm having to do this outside, and I don't want to leave the seed pod too long, because if you leave them when they go overripe they can go a bit mouldy. And although this may not necessarily harm the seed, if it's thoroughly washed, it can be a lot more difficult to separate the pulp from the seed with a load of mould. So obviously you want to make sure you don't let it go overripe. Now, luckily it's not a windy day today, and I've got a little crystal here on the tissue paper to stop this blowing away if there's a tiny bit of wind. Now, what you need to do is use some kitchen roll, or in this case, toilet roll, as long as it's clean, of course. And this is to separate, smooth over the seed and the pulp like a paste over the tissue paper to separate. And what you want to do is slightly burst here with the thumbnails, put it apart like so. Look at that lovely, that lovely juice, and just put it apart like that. See all the seed, lovely seed. It's almost like a tiny little dragon fruit. And as I say, this is going to be a very easy one to harvest because there's only a tiny seed pod, and just separate the seed like that. Just smooth it over the kitchen roll or the toilet paper. As long as you've got something absorbent, you could also use a clean cloth or anything that's going to be absorbent, and obviously so you can see the seed and the pulp separately. And then just scrape any seed that's still sitting there gently with a thumbnail. Just squeeze it across there just to make sure that everything is all on there. And that's it's only a tiny bit of seed. And no, I know guys, this particular cactus, this orange Brazil Schlumbergera, I've been asked so many times when I've done videos on it, people saying, oh, can I have a cutting? Unfortunately, the plant, it's only a small plant. I've given a load of cuttings away to people here in Ireland, and I'm trying to get it back into growth again because it's a very popular plant. And as I say, the seed, I'm going to be sowing the seed myself because there isn't many seeds. If there'd been a load of seed in here, I would have very happy to gift seeds away. But in this case there's hardly any, so I'm going to be sowing these seeds in the next few days, so stay tuned for a seed sowing video. As you can see, the wind's picking up now, so I wouldn't recommend doing this normally outside, but the lighting is bad. And as I say, I'm going to be letting this dry out in the house so it's not going to blow anywhere. And make sure all the seed, that's really all you have to do. You can eat that if you want to, not that it'd be particularly very nice with a hard shell, but it's not going to hurt you. I'm going to put this into the recycling, and then all you have to do then is allow the seed to dry on the paper towel for probably a couple of hours or so, and then it's very easy then just to gently separate the seed from the dried up paper towel, and then put it into a little baggie. In this case I've got a little baggie all wrote out there. I put orange Brazil seeds. Normally I'd write down the date I've harvested the seeds, but I'd normally only do that if I was going to sow them at a later date. Say it's August now, 2018, so normally I'd put August 2018 and then I'd sow them in the future, and I know how fresh the seed is, because cactus seed can keep for up to several years. But obviously with all type of seeds, as you know, the quicker it's sown, the more faster germination you've got. And because it's still summer here in Northern Ireland, it's actually late summer, late August, but it's still plenty of time to get sowing these type of cacti, which are the Schlumbergera Christmas Thanksgiving type of cacti. And because we have grow lights in our room upstairs, in our grow propagation room, we're going to be using lights to grow these seeds, and growing indoors they'll have the additional heat. So but if you've only got a window without any additional lighting or any additional heat, then I would recommend waiting until the spring before you get sowing seeds. But if you're lucky enough to have special grow boxes and all the rest some people have, then go ahead, you can do it any time of year. And if you want to know how to grow cactus from seed, including Schlumbergera, Rhipsalidopsis and all types of succulents in general, cacti, succulents, everything, then there's a video link up above. Please do go over and watch it, and it's called How to Grow Cactus from Seed, and it's for all type of cacti, including succulent, all other type of succulents too. I like to use the baggy method, and I explain why in that video. So guys, that's that. Now, as I say, I'm going to wait for that to dry. Probably only take 10 minutes, to be honest. I'm going to take this into the house now and dry it in the heat there. That will dry up in no time at all. And then when it comes to actually, oops, as you can see, the wind is picking up now. As it comes to actually separating the seed, I'm going to have to do this inside. Hopefully the lighting will be okay by then, and I'll show you how I get it into the little baggies. Now guys, that's the tissue dried up now for an hour, and it's all pretty much dry. And I've had to take this into the kitchen, obviously, because, as I say, don't harvest seed outside. Because it was damp, it was okay, but I brought it in now to separate, because obviously even the tiniest bit of wind can blow them away, and all your hard work and waiting patiently for the seed pod to ripen all those months is gone down the drain. Excuse the pun. Now I'm having to do this on my kitchen window here, because the lighting is so bad. It's so dark today, and the only bit of light I can really use is here, so excuse the background, guys. Some pretty begonia picta flowers there for you. Now, what I recommend doing here is, obviously, as I say, separating the seed off the tissue paper. All you have to do is very gently rub. You'll know when the tissue paper is dry because it will feel crisp to the touch. And then just gently rub the seed away there, so it comes away. You don't want to scrape it with your nail because you don't want to damage the outer shell of the seeds. They are very tiny. Thankfully, these type of seeds on Schlumbergera aren't the tiniest compared to some other cactus seeds. Some of them are actually like dust, and it's very difficult to harvest. And so gently, but you have to be patient with this. So it's a little bit of pulp, still a little bit damp there, but it should be okay. And the reason why it's important that you don't use damp seeds with the pulp that it's completely dry is because if you put them into the baggies, if you're sowing it straight away, pretty much okay. But if you put them into the baggies, they can go mouldy. So with larger cactus seeds, I always recommend washing the seed through from the pulp first, and then putting it through a tiny muslin cloth or something to separate any of the remaining pulp, and so it's completely clean. But that's a different story, and I've made other videos on larger cactus seeds. So that's completely emptied there, just the pulp left behind, so that one can go. Do the other two tissue papers away, there was nothing on them. So, and then here they're coming away easy enough. They're gently just scraping, and then it should come away easy enough with the fingers. And it's so exciting. Now you might say, why on earth would I want to sow Schlumbergera, Christmas cacti or Easter cacti from seed when it's so easy to take cuttings? And they're so easy to propagate by cuttings, guys. I would only recommend sowing from seed purely because if you're passionate about growing plants from seed, if I really wanted fast plants, I just take cuttings of Schlumbergera and Thanksgiving cactus. And links up above to a video on how to propagate Christmas cacti, which includes all the Schlumbergera family and also the Rhipsalidopsis. Very, very easy. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it. If not, check that out. But this is the reason why I'm doing this from seed. Is I actually love growing from seed. There's something very rewarding about seeing a seed germinate and grow over the following weeks, months and years that you know has come from your own plants, and you've actually pollinated it yourself and you've grown it from seed yourself. And that's the only reason why I just love growing from seed. It's very special. And what I recommend doing then is, obviously, now you can either use a little bag or you can use a paper envelope. Now, if you're storing the seed to use at a later date, it's important you store the seed in a dry, cool place, not in a hot place and away from sunshine. But obviously you don't want it too cold either. You want to just keep the seed where it's away from heat and too much cold. Some people say they put them in their fridge and things like that, but I think it's just a fairly normal temperature then, house temperature, no hot, no cold, and definitely away from direct sun. And as I say, I'm going to be sowing this seed probably next week, so stay tuned for future video when I get sowing these Schlumbergera seeds. Now, I use a little funnel. These are like what I use when I do my aromatherapy, mixing and make the creams up and things like that. I just use a little funnel here. It's easier because if I just push that into there, seeds can go everywhere. They're easy to lose. So all I do then is just literally shake them all to the bottom. And then I use the little funnel so I don't lose any seeds. It goes direct into the bag or envelope, whatever you want to use. Direct there. There you go, like so. Like so, excuse the pun. And there. 2 more. That's it. Ha! Nearly done. That's it. So the plate is clean. And as you can see there, all the seeds gone straight down the funnel, straight into the bag. So you're not going to lose any more that's in there. All done. And there you go. There's the little seeds. And as I say, stay tuned for a video when I sow these seeds. It's going to be so much fun. And orange Brazil seeds. And as I say, normally I'd put the date I've harvested it if I was keeping it for a later date. But as I'm sowing it next week, it's still going to be August. And it's going to be so much fun, guys. So much fun. Ha! So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it useful. Should you want to harvest seeds yourself from your own plants, I highly recommend it. And great fun to do. And as I say, very, very rewarding. And I hope you found this helpful. I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power. As always, from the Emerald Isle. And until the next video, bye. Bye from the beautiful begonia.